Hi everyone, and welcome to the next instalment of my build of Takom Blitz's 1/35th scale StuG 3 Ausf. In this particular video we are going to finish off the build. There's a couple of issues with the kit that we'll go through, and also give you some insight in some of the techniques that I use during construction. So if that's of interest to you, pull up a chair and let's go do some modelling. So just to recap, if you remember from the last video, we'd done the damage on the exhaust and we did the photo etch guard as well. This little part here is the tow hook. I strongly advise you to build it off the model and then attach it. If you do it the other way around, you're going to run into lots of problems. Here we have the exhaust, or obviously the one on the left I've drilled out, and you can see that as a comparison to the one on the right. Now this is the front panel. You need to cut those little corners off, so do that very carefully and then file it back using, well in my case, the velour files. And once you've done that one, you might as well do the one on top as well, because you're going to need to have that to hand later on in the build. So this is the actual front part. As you can see, it's all molded in, nicely detailed, so very little stress having to put that part together. Also put all of the running gear together. You must do this one at a time, because it's quite easy for the wrong parts to go in, so be very careful. The spare track holder I've glued on one side but left free so I can put the spare track in later. As you can see, it's beautifully detailed, really pleased, very solid, and this will be an ideal base for us now to build up the main part of the body as well. As you can see, the kit comes with some nice weld seams as well. The fenders, they're a bit of a state. As you can see, a lot of connectors and injection marks. That all needs to be seen to, taken off, filed down. I will add some texture underneath, some mud work, which we'll look at later. Now this little part actually snapped when coming off the sprue. It's the only one that did, so it's just a simple case of getting some 0.4 wire, straighten it out. If you just used a ridged ruler, that also takes off the shine, so it helps with the painting later on. And then just use your bending tool to make a nice little replacement. And then in this case I'm using my flat nose pliers, where I can actually bend it up to make the part the way it was before, and then we'll just cut off the ends. And as you can see here from the close-up, we've got a couple of replacements, and if we compare that with the kit part, it's not too shabby. I'm quite happy with that. Now the back end, again, all nicely molded. You don't have to worry about hinges and lids and all the rest of it. It's all on there for you. All you need to do is add on the covers. So very pleased with how that was looking. Now this is the tow rope, a bit of a letdown, I must be truthful, so I'm going to get rid of that and get the Eureka ones in. This little 3D kit, which came from BSK, this was ideal for a lot of the parts on this build, and I utilised most of it. So here, as you can see, I've put in the parts for the tow rope, because the tow rope I'm not actually going to be putting on the back end, but obviously the clamps still have to be there. And in the bottom right, I've used the kit part there. Now, there's going to be a lot of spare track on this build, so it was a matter of searching through the spares drawer, seeing what I had a bit of magic link as well, and it's really just working out which is the best detailed one to use. Now this is the bit which was the letdown on this kit. You have two covers, so basically it's a matter of putting the extra armour on top, but honestly it just looks so useless. It really does look like a couple of bits of plastic stuck on top, so we will really need to make this a bit more realistic. So once the glue was dried, what I then did was to set about trimming the edges. A bit of a tricky job, but getting the straight line with the knife very carefully. As you can see, the edges were trimmed back down, and then what I did on each side, as you can see, I've added some guard rail, and that just builds up the side panel, and then getting the side to scribe out the edges, because now what I'm going to do is put in the weld seams. For those of you who follow my work, you know that I use solder wire for all of my weld work, and there's a how-to video in the channel if you want to see how I do it. Now on the back here, again, because this is used for the StuG, you need to get rid of those marks, you need to fill those in. Simple process, no issues there. I wanted to create a little bit of damage, so I decided to take one of the mudguards off on the front fender on the left hand side, and that was just a matter of trimming back the join. As you can see here, we have the metal P part that goes on the pod. Strongly advise you to put that on before you put the pod on, otherwise it's a devil of a job. Now obviously I've done texture 1,000,001 times with you guys, but just to recap, take it out of the jar, otherwise it'll all dry out. Put a little bit in a cup, get your cut down brush, and then just apply it in a stippling effect, and do as many layers as you want to build up the thickness, depending on what you're actually doing, whether it's going to be for mud or whether it's going to be for cast texture. And then once it's bone dry like this front part is, then you need to get your sanding stick and take away all of those peaks that you created when you were doing the stippling. Sand that down, you can create bare spots as well, and as you can see, that's come out really well. However, when I did the fenders, it's a slightly different process where you actually do the sanding just after you've put it on, so you roll over the humps and bumps and it looks a lot more like mud. So very pleased with how that came out, and then it was a matter of just putting the no-tech light on there, and that's a really nice feature at the front. Small issue, historical issue more than anything. You don't have to do this, but there was just a couple of bolts and a plate missing on the hinges at the front, and obviously the photo etch part went in there really nicely as well. So a nice bit of attention to detail there by Takom. And again, those weld seams, beautiful. Didn't have to replace them at all, really nice. So if we look at the main pod, as you can see, I put a bit of texture on there, blends in the weld seams as well. And what we'll do a quick recap now, because obviously I've now built up the top part. We've put on those little hooks, we've put on the texture. This fitted in like a glove. I've never had such an easier time with putting an upper hull and a lower hull together. It was superb. The only real issue was the little part at the back, so you may want to leave that off and put it on once the hull is on, but no real issues. I did in fact take the exhaust off later for painting. You'll also notice I've done a fair bit of texture work on the upper parts. I wasn't happy with it, and I have in fact sanded quite a lot of that off. Fill in the holes, because that's where if you want to put your spare wheel, but I don't. I'm going to be putting mine elsewhere. There's a few little other things that I'm changing around, so it's just a matter of being conscious of what the works you want to do, using your reference photos and creating the model that you really need and want to see. And again, that spare track's still yet to be glued on. So yeah, all in all, very pleased with how this was progressing. Lots of tools on the side. I'd left the axe off again just to be different. The hammer's off as well. So you just need to leave on the clamps for the realism side. And again, we have the ones for the tow ropes at the back. The ones on the corners I use from the kit part. Now, as for the back end, part S11, don't glue that straight onto the bottom, otherwise it will just fall inside. So stick it onto the larger part first, put them both together, and then put it onto the model. And again, I'll put a little bit of texture on the back. And that, again, beautiful fit. So well engineered, this kit. There we have the side pods. Again, the photo etch. I've had no issue with any of the photo etch in this kit. Goes together really nice. Very pleased with how it all looks. As for the barrel, obviously the metal one that came with the kit went together fine, no real issues. However, it can go up and down if you want to use the movement. But if you're going to do that, you must glue this in so tight. It has to be well dried out before you try moving it, because if you snap that once the build's done, it's going to be a real pain. So just be a little bit careful. Now, one of the other issues we had with the kit was the rear mud guards. Now, as you can see, they have the mud flap actually forming part of the actual kit part itself, which isn't too bad. However, the issue is we have the oval one on the left hand side, but unfortunately they haven't given you a circular one for the right hand side. They've given you another oval one. So what I did is that fortunately there were a couple of blanks in the kit, so I just drilled out the hole, made a mud flap, and it's all okay now. Now, as far as the radio mask go, that was an absolute nightmare. That is a pig of a job. So be very careful. Just go through it systematically and you should be okay. But expect trying times putting that together. And it's quite fragile, so be careful when handling it that you don't knock them at all. But again, nice little feature. And that's pretty well much most of the photo etch done now. The lid was put on, no issues there. You got a little periscope to add on to that. As far as the back goes, I started to just sort of think about what I was going to do as far as all the stowage goes. So I made a couple of boards based on reference. I've got a few value gear stuff there, bits out of the spares box, just to give myself an idea of what I'm going to be doing. And in the end, this was all of the spares that I've settled for. And obviously these will all be painted off the model and then put on once done. So there we go, everyone. Many thanks again for stopping by and watching the video. As I said, the build is all done now. In the next video, we'll start the painting process. But that leaves me just to say a massive thank you to all of my subscribers, old and new. And in the meantime, happy modelling.